The liberation and leadership of women was a cornerstone of Vladimir Lenin's thinking and actions as the leader of the Bolshevik Revolution. Revolution could not have been complete without it. It was an integral part of it, and he talked and wrote about it a great deal. Lenin wanted to know what women wanted and needed, and what issues were on their minds. He consulted with them often and regularly. This article focuses on the preface to the book, The Emancipation of Women, which was written in 1933 by Krupskaya, Lenin's spouse and partner, 10 years after his death. Russian women were some of the most oppressed people in the country due to their living in a patriarchal society. Lenin stated, only the victory of the working class would bring emancipation to women workers and peasants. At that time, peasants were moving from farms to factories. He closely studied the working conditions and lives of women factory workers and peasants. Krupskaya said that Lenin explains in his book, The Development of Capitalism in Russia, that women's work at factories broadens their outlook, makes them more cultured and independent, helps them break the shackles of patriarchal life. He explained that large-scale industry would create the basis for the emancipation of women. Lenin called for the complete equality of men and women to be written into the Bolshevik Party's program, and it was. The Soviet government codified laws that established the full equality of rights for women and men. Lenin wanted all women to be able to work for the benefit of society. He worked hard to draw the most oppressed women into the work of running the country, including sex workers. He knew they needed to be taught how to govern, how to administer the state. Lenin stressed that all workers needed training in this, and he aimed to break from the view that only the rich could do this. The Bolshevik government began to raise the question also of collectivization of agriculture and communes, and the struggle against the kulaks, wealthy peasants who exploited other peasants and loaned money. Collectivization of agriculture meant consolidating individual farms into collective farms, combining small farms into large ones, coming under state ownership and control, where farmers worked together and made decisions together. Krupskaya wrote, small-scale farming shackled women and tied them to the individual households and narrowed their outlook. They were in fact slaves of their husbands, who often beat them cruelly. Collectivization, said Krupskaya, undermines the peasants' isolation and emancipates women. And she said that Lenin emphasized that socialism alone would bring emancipation for women. The Congress of Collective Farmers showed that Lenin's words were coming true, said Krupskaya. Many women were among the delegates. Women were learning to govern and to fight the kulaks. She wrote that political consciousness was developing, would help to get rid of old prejudices.